Mark chapter 9, picking it up in verse 30. They went on from there and passed through Galilee. He did not want anyone to know, for he was teaching his disciples, saying to them, "The Son of Man is going to be delivered into the hands of men, and they will kill him. When he is killed, after 3 days he will rise." They did not understand the saying, and were afraid to ask him. So private teaching continues when he's with the disciples, and he makes it very clear what's coming down the road. The Son of Man, that's his reference for himself, and it's reference in the Old Testament, the book of Daniel, about the Messiah. It says he'll be delivered into the hands of men, and they will kill him. When he is killed, he will rise after 3 days. And they're like, you ask him. I'm not asking him. Right? They were afraid. They didn't understand. And we shouldn't be so hard. We should just be like that man. Lord, I believe, but help my unbelief. So they come to Capernaum, and was in the house. He asked them, "What were you discussing on the way?" But they kept silent, for on the way they had argued with one another about who was the greatest. And he sat down and called the 12, and he said to them, "If anyone would be first, he must be last of all and servant of all." He took a child and put him in the midst of them, and taking him in his arms, he said to them, "Whoever receives one such child in my name receives me, and whoever receives me receives not me, but him who sent me." Jesus teaches them about what's going to happen. They're thinking about a kingdom and reigning and ruling. They're thinking about power and position. And so he said, that's not how things work in the kingdom of God. If you want to be first, you must be last and servant of all. And he uses the example of a child. Why do you think that is? Well, Jesus himself was the servant of all. He's the one who humbled himself, becoming like you and me. Not just trying to be like a human, he is human. And he left heaven, left the glory of the Father, put aside all the prerogatives of the Godhead, if you will. Meaning he didn't just go around transporting himself, through walls and things like that. That was after the resurrection. Everything he did as a human with the Spirit of God working through him. And he was the greatest servant. Washing feet, serving others. And yet, like the disciples, we get caught up in being noticed, position, authority, all the things that the world would say, this is the direction, this is what you're supposed to go for, this is what you're supposed to grab onto, and even in the church. And Jesus says, if you want to be first, you'll be last. You must be servant of all. And you can circle that. It's doulos. It's this idea of being under a master. And if we're really under Jesus, we're under servants. We're sheep as he's the shepherd. We're slaves to the master. We do what he asks of us. And we do it willingly and joyfully. Because whoever receives one such child in my name receives me. Whoever receives me receives not me, but him who sent me. In other words, when we go and we look for and we help and we come alongside the least and the lowest, we're operating with the hands and feet of Jesus. We're demonstrating we understand what it means to be last and not first. We're demonstrating what it means to be a servant. You're not looking for a picture. You're not looking for someone to give you praise. You're looking to be the hands and feet of Jesus to those who desperately need it. How's that going? It's not easy. The disciples had that same issue. They were thinking position, they were thinking power. And Jesus said, no, not so with you. There's a new way. The message for us is still the same. Don't seek to be first, seek to be the servant of all. Say, God, use me today. Who would you have me talk to? Who would you have me serve today? Till next time, little by little.